You pry the corroded 7-pin plug apart, fingers scraping metal and dried grime. The cold bites through your jacket. Breath fogs. The manifest blinks 20 minutes to root. A full load sits silent on the dock. You put the connector in your palm like a small truth you kept postponing. All week you moved this to tomorrow. The truck needs lights. The city needs the boxes. Your team needs you not to call in a delay. You can feel the bargain forming in your mouth. Let someone else test it. Drive and check at the first stop. Make the truck do the work and then fix it later. The voice sounds reasonable. It always sounds reasonable. It wants conditions before action. It wants a quieter morning and a fuller tank of confidence. It wants time. You do the math in your head and widen the pause. Hands hover. You taste the argument. You name it out loud to shorten it. Say it. Do it. The phrase is small. It is not a pep line. It is ammunition for the moment you hesitate. You mouth it. 2 words become instruction. The multimeter sits warm against your palm. A new crimp terminal rustles in its plastic bag. Close shot of the pins. Close shot of callus and grease. You clean 1 pin with a shop towel. You test. No light. The flange still reads open. For a second the old plan seems right. Drive and check later. You feel the relief arriving early. Recognition hits like a slap. The real problem was never the wire. It was the habit of delaying the first real move until everything felt right. You see it now. This is how days erode, quietly. A bad contact here, a missed call later, a small pass that becomes the day you let happen. Cost is not a crash. Cost is the slow loss of reliability. That loss shows up on other people's faces when you tell the story. It shows up in a route running late and a coworker who covers while you redo work on the second run. It is payback measured in time and trust. You press the new terminal into place. Your hands are steady enough. You crimp, then tuck the wires neat. You resist the old move to tidy it half clean. Clean work now. Fix nothing later. You reconnect the plug. For a breath, you imagine it will fail again. You breathe count. You look at the multimeter. You put the probe to the pin and flip the key. Static. Then a small red light blooms on the trailer's face. The brake lamp glows like a promise kept. The radio hums back to life. Proof is a small burn of satisfaction. You don't narrate victory. You register a fact. The affirmation earned its value. The phrase did not substitute for action. It made the action inevitable. That is the rule. Words without the move are empty air. Words that push the body get their weight. That rule sits simple and sharp. You feel a different line form in you. It is not a fantasy of strength. It is the habit of closing the loop. You become the man who says the line and reaches for the pliers. Identity is quieter than swagger. It is the sound of a connector clicking home. There is still friction. On the first drive out, a relay hums oddly. You curse under your breath. Your hand taps the dash more than once. You almost let patience slip and promise yourself a later check. Old habits press. You feel irritation like itch in the throat. You pull over at the next light. You test again. The contact was good, but a loose zip tie rubs on the harness. You stop. You fix the tie. The day is not tidy. The test almost failed. But you did not hand control back to the bargaining voice. This pattern is small and repeatable. You find it at 10 other times in the week. A small sentence said before a small act. Say it. Do it. You use the affirmation twice today. Once to force the first connection when hands stalled. Once at the second stop when your patience could have slipped. You keep the phrase short on purpose. repetition without laziness. 2 uses. The ritual lands and then recedes. The truck runs its route on time. The team calls it a good run. You file nothing heroic. You inventory reliability. You notice your watch, the coffee thermos cooling, the faint diesel at your jacket cuff. Recognition, turn landed. Cost, turn acknowledged. Identity, turn anchored. This won't fix everything. Tomorrow, a different small problem will test the ritual. You'll be tired. You'll be annoyed. You'll be tempted to let the next action wait. You will still get irritated. You will still almost make the old deal with yourself, and you will say the line again if it matters. The standard is not a promise of ease. The standard is the habit of immediate correction. The finish is not the end. It is the next morning's alarm, the next plug, the same 2 words moving you forward. You don't celebrate, you continue. The truck's brake light fades behind a block of dawn. You file that small success inside your daily work. It becomes a short ritual before every pre-route check. You know what to say. You know what follows. You practice the phrase like a tool. It is not vanity. It is an action trigger tied to a fact. The man you want is now a man who proves his word with a hand. Proof over promise. Repetition without drama. Quiet, personal, clean. If this hit you, subscribe and ride with us daily. No comfort, just discipline.